Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. I don't normally do videos this late at night. I mean, it's where I am. It's half 10 at night, and I'll be thinking about going to bed soon, early start and all. But I landed on this this article, and I thought straight away, oh, this needs to be done now. This is a stunning thing, and it's to do with trans in sports and how it is clearly unfair, and we're going to say and show you exactly how unfair it is to have men wearing woman face, pretendy Wendy's, going into sport to compete against women, because we're going to have a man who now goes by the name of Anders. He's a 40-year-old man, and he's competing in powerlifting against women. And he lifted a weight that was over 200 pounds more. He didn't lift 200 pounds. He lifted 200 pounds more than the second placed woman. That's heavier than me. I don't weigh 200 pounds. This is clearly an abomination. And it should not be allowed. But of course it is allowed, because it's Canada. It's Justin Trudeau. It's the soyest of soy boys who allow this. Now we're going to have a look at it, and I'll show you the picture here. But it is absolutely stunningly wrong, and I think nobody who competes in sport will agree that this is right. So here goes. So this comes from the website Western Standard, which is Alberta in Canada, and all points west, I suppose. And it's reporting on Canadian women's powerlifting. We have this picture here, and you can see this picture. Now, this is a man, like I say, this is Anders. He likes to call himself a woman, and he's 40 years of age, which is older than sort of most men who'd be doing this event. But it doesn't really matter, because all the younger women aren't going to be as strong as him. And he calls himself a woman. You can tell he's a woman now. He's got those nice pink socks. Obviously a lady. And he's got that blue hair. Obviously a mentally ill lady. And of course, can't quite see it in this picture, I suppose. But when you zoom in, there's definitely pre-op, shall we say. He's carrying a little bit more weight than perhaps is obvious, because he's also got the weight of his cock. Although, presumably with all the steroids they take, must be a rather tiny one. But anyway, a transgender male powerlifter who mocked women and who identifies now as a woman set a woman's national record at a championship in Brandon, Manitoba on Sunday. Now, of course, this means, let me just zoom that in a little bit, it'll be easier to read. And there he is again. So what this means is he set a record that only another man can possibly beat. And so there is no such thing as ladies powerlifting in Canada now. They've gone so woke that they've actually destroyed an entire sport. So Redux reported that Anders, 40, currently holds multiple records in the female division, including women's deadlift and bench press, and has placed first in 9 out of the 11 competitions he has participated in over the past 4 years. Presumably the only 2 he's lost were to bigger, stronger men. And I must be honest, I mean, you're talking about powerlifter things. The last thing I want to see is his snatch. On Sunday, Redux reported Anders appeared at the Canadian Powerlifting Union 2023 Western Canadian Championship, which was held at Brandon University's Healthy Living Centre. There was nothing healthy about him. Anders participated in the female masters unequipped category. Well, I would suggest he is gone equipped. And beat out Michelle Kiminak, or Kiminik, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, and Sujan Gill for the first place award. So you have these two women who've trained hard in their sport, put the time in, done the dedication, powerlifted their way to be good enough to become second and third, but only as women. First and second women, but only, the second and third best females. According to advanced results obtained by Redux, Anders' total powerlifting score was over 200 pounds more than the top performing female in the same class. He lifted £597.5 versus Sujan Gill's £387. Now that's getting on for half a ton. Anders' total would have placed him among the top performing male powerlifters in the entire championship had he participated in the men's category. Piers Morgan, the master of the media comeback, said he believes it's ridiculous. It's preposterous, Morgan said on X or Twitter. Why are we calling this X Twitter now? Can we just call it X and or Twitter? Anyway, quoting this. Now here's Piers Morgan's take on it. A trans-identified male set a Canadian women's powerlifting record at a championship in Manitoba yesterday. Ann Anders, who previously mocked female powerlifters, lifted a total of £210 more than the strongest female competitor. And of course, here we are. And I will play this. I will zoom this in a little bit more, just so you can see this. There'll be no sound, obviously, because of what's the word I'm looking for here? Copyright. But it takes you to the link on it. So if you wait for this to... Oh, God, it takes forever to link. Do you know, I've got wired internet. Why is this taking so long? Right, so there she is. He is. There he is. Stomp, stomp. Very delicate and ladylike. And let's hope he doesn't clip his balls on the way up. And look, they got up here. Ann Anders lifting £556. Now, I will praise him as a man for lifting that. That's an immense weight for any man to lift. But it's unfair to do it in a women's competition, surely. Anyway, come back. To zoom it back in. Twitter users were quick to react to the moron post. I've jiggled this screen about, now I can't read it. There we go. Twitter users were quick to react to the moron post. I think they mean Morgan, but Piers Moron is often the accepted version. Why are women cheering on the demise of their sport? In a sane world, the second he entered the room, everyone should have got up and left. Until women and girls stop competing, this will continue. No, that is one option. You have two options. One is, as soon as a man turns up to perform at any sport, all the women there just pack up the bags and go and leave the man alone. He can be the winner. Oh, look at him, he's the winner. Okay. And then the sponsors are going, well, hang on a minute, we can't give you that money. There's no one here. Nobody was watching. Well, you know, you're the ones who let the man in. That's number one option. Number two option is, and it will take real men, you know, a little bit of bravery just to do it for a few times. And in something like powerlifting or anything where they allow men to compete as women, is just have a whole load of normal men just turn up, pretendy Wendy's for a day, just to go in and to beat the man who thought he'd turn up to beat all the women, and then get him to say it was unfair. But look, you were all men. I went, so were you. You know, and you have to say, ladies, sorry, ladies, just this one or two times, and we'll just soon end this bloody nonsense. Anders sported blue hair for his lift to smash the record because, you know, the blue hair brigade, isn't it? He says, when sanity takes hold, there are going to be a lot of women's records erased for the simple fact they were set by men pretending to be women because they fail being men in sports. It's a joke. And that's basically it. There's a lot of people just going on basically putting all this in. So I'm not going to read all those posts and tweets and things. I think you can make your own mind up that is quite clearly a very sad pretendy Wendy wishing desperately to be as good as that against men, failing, and deciding that the only way to win is to pretend to be a woman and smash women. And from that, take women's earnings, take women's medals, take women's titles, and take women's opportunities. Simply because he's such an inadequate, failed man with a tiny, tiny cock. Anyway, I'm going to come up, finish. It's clearly wrong, and someone we've followed a lot on the channel, Riley Gaines, the American swimmer. She's the one who lost out several times to Leah Thomas, not his real name, the 6'6" or whatever, 6'4" man who likes to swim against women because he's not very good against other men, and so he won all these titles and took Riley Gaines's should have been Riley Gaines's win. And then she's doing a court case, a judgment against the sport because they forced her and other women to get undressed in a changing room in front of this man. It was 18 times a week or something, and they were told if they complained they'd be off the team for being bigoted. That's the state of it. Anyway, she's complained. She's been moaning to Justin Trudeau, saying, why are you allowing this? Is it because you've got no balls of your own and things like that? Why are you allowing women to be cancelled for the sake of mentally ill men? That's what she's doing. And Riley Gaines has got a hell of a following, and of course she's got this court case coming. If she wins that, it will utterly destroy all sort of gender self-ID in women's sports in America, at least, because they will say it will be a federal matter. So it's not individual states doing it, and it will be a federal matter. And at the federal level, it can't be done. So national level, you can't. But the individual states, you still can because of the division of law. But anyway, I shall round that one off there. It is quite clearly wrong, and that title needs to be taken from him, and he needs to be told, look, if you're not a woman, don't compete against them. And if they have an open, you see, the thing is, they say, oh, well, the way round it is, we have a ladies only, and then we have an open, where anyone can join. But it'll just be men and trans men, and the trans men will be going, or trans women, whatever they bloody call themselves, the men and the mentally ill men. And then all the mentally ill men will go, well, I'm not winning, it's not fair. Well, that's because you're not good enough, which is why you want to compete against women, so that you can win, because you're inadequate. Anyway, stop it. I'm going to stop now. Thank you very much for listening. If you like what you're seeing here on the channel, please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and gentlemen, please don't compete against women. You know you can't win. Bye.